because what you're saying is being just typed up on your little computer here and made fresh, ready for you to enter in. And you say, but I didn't want that, I didn't want something like that. See, then stop thinking about it. See, that's all you have to do. All you have to do is just stop thinking about it. I know that, but you see, you have a way to do that because you start thinking of something else.
Absolutely.
See, you can't think two thoughts at the same time. We already agreed on that, didn't we?
We did.
See, so if you can't think two thoughts at the same time, all you have to do is just switch over for a second and hold it. Because look, you can do this. As a matter of fact, you've been doing it since you were a child, and that's the reason why you don't recognize the power you're operating. It's because you're not paying attention to what you're doing, and you got too much time to be feeling sorry for yourself because you did this and you did that, but it wasn't your fault though. But you did do it. Hey, look, I got by with that for years. Well, yeah, but you don't know what they said and what they did. No, you don't. You only got my word for that, and I've already proven to be a liar. So where we're gonna go from there? Look, you're on all the time. Just listen to what you're saying to yourself, what you're suggesting to yourself. That suggesting to yourself slips through really easy because you see you've already agreed with it before and before and before. So it slips through without any interference from you. But you better start interfering. You better start standing to see the victory, because hey, we only got two ways to go, and you can make this hell on earth right here, right now. So in fact, that's what a lot of people actually start off with statements that say that their life is gone to hell. But you see, you bought the ticket. That's right. You bought the ticket. You stood on the platform and waited for the train to come. And then here it is. Here it is. And now I'm on the train. Now what? Okay. Why? Do you ever question yourself? If you questioned yourself 10% of the judgments you're making of people around you, even that would probably help you. I know how hard it is. Let me tell you this. This one young fellow, yeah, he did some work for me, and we got to talking, and after I don't know, just a couple of weeks, he got what took me 2 years to get. And I am the inquisitor here. I mean, I know the questions to ask to see if it is what it is. And he passed every one of them. And it was all out of his mind. You see, that's what all of this is. It's out of the mind of man. That's it. Everything is out of the mind of man. Reality is God's, that's his dwell. What are you doing to make yours heaven on earth now? See, you were told that you can do that. You can bring heaven on earth for you right here, right now. In fact, what they say, this is the appointed hour right now. So you have no excuse. And as a matter of fact, if you're not choosing good, you're choosing bad. There's only two ways to go. And then all you have to do is just ask yourself, well, is this taking me where I want to go? But don't think that because it's not taking you where you want to go that he's not doing something. He's also going the other way, and he'll take you there spot on. I mean, you know how long it takes to get upset? A minute. Oh, no, not even a minute. I mean, you just see something, and you know, and since you do that often, it becomes a habit. So you're actually making mindsets that act automatically. See? Yes, yes, automatically. In other words, they're not going to say, "Hey, we're coming in." No, they're there, and you made them up because you accepted them. And if you even if you didn't accept them, how much thought did you put behind rejecting them? You see, because yeah, I'll say I reject something, and 5 minutes later, here I am jawing about it. You know, and I'm saying, whoa, where are we going with this? You just said a while ago, just a minute ago. See, that's what Neville was always so clear on, is that man is such a poor dreamer. And you know something? When I graduated from grade school, my teacher, she took me aside, she put her hands in my face like this, and she said, "Son, learn the trade, or you're going to starve." I didn't take any offense because I really loved the woman. She was she was my ideal mother,
Mm.
you know. And she told me how she even put me clear in the back of the room, and didn't open the bottom windows. She pulled the top windows down so that if you look out, all you could see was the clouds. And she said, "What are you looking at out there?" Whatever goes by. But she was really a good teacher. I mean, she really did help a lot of her students. And the Scout, I I often thought about her long after I left school, and that was the end of my education, by the way. I went right to work, and then I did that, and then I joined the Navy. I did that for 4 years. Wonderful experiences. Got to go places I know I don't even want to go now, but no, I got to places I never would have even thought about. As a matter of fact, I don't even know the names of the places where I was. As a matter of fact, I don't think I said them correctly even when I was there, because they look at you like kind of weird when you say it. But like I said, it was quite an experience, and I got to do things that I had dreamed about doing. Uh, I used to go diving in the Mississippi River. So you go snorkeling there, and you might see a hand about that far from your face. And and then you had those big ships coming by too. So and I can't believe you ever see those ships when they come to port here, and they got all these cargo things stacked up and stacked up and stacked up, and I you know I was thinking about ballast.
Yeah.
You know, the ship has to have a certain amount of ballast to I mean, it must be, they probably poured the whole bottom of it with lead or something. Because well, those things are how high?
Yeah, we're pretty high.
And complete. And I don't even. I I guess the people who live downstairs, but down below, yeah. If you can look back at the times and laugh about them, then you had good times. But if you're always whining and crying about something, then you ain't happy. I mean, You might have moments here and there, but they go real quick because you're not in the habit yet of jumping in at the right time. You're urged very easily to jump into a negative situation than you are a positive one. See, you're always saying, well, tell me how that works. Well, you don't have to know how the other works. You're just there. Well, it's the same thing. That's the same way you correct what you were doing before. You're in charge. You understand this? Even if you're out of control, you're still the one who's steering. And if you run off the road, you get back on quickly, straighten out your thinking, because thinking makes it so. You understand? As a matter of fact, one lady that I talked to on your program there, she said that something that I had said, and I said, "You're always thinking ahead of your evidence." And she said it rang to her. She pulled over to the side, and she sat there and she was thinking about it, and she goes, "Wow, why didn't I think of that?" She did many times, but she wasn't paying attention. You see, it just washes right on over. And you would say, well, why didn't she recognize it there? I don't know, but I can tell you there are things I knew long before I realized what I knew. And I knew they were something worthy of my attention. I did not understand what they were representing to me at that moment, but I figured if I stuck with it, because Neville said, if you don't stop, you win.
Absolutely.
That's it. And I said, I'll give a clap to that now. If you don't stop, you and that's it. That's exactly what you're told when you're told, don't stop. You may seem like you're not making anything, but you are making little increments. Every time, I still get information just hearing my own tapes. And I sit here for hours playing the tapes that we're offering you because I know that something I said that was right for that moment, but then there were other things of the same moment that needed to be expressed. And I tried to do that. I do that. I tried to do that. You just never know what's going to come out of my mouth. But so far, it's been pretty delightful. But you know, even giving these talks for more than 40 years, I still catch myself. You see, it became a habit to question me. See, because I talk to people and they sit, and when I'm talking about talking to yourself, they get kind of funny look and like, no, I don't talk to myself. Well, Scripture says you're praying ceaselessly, so you're talking to somebody. And that somebody is you, believe me. You're experiencing what you're saying. And all you have to do is look back a ways on your experiencing, and you said, I said that. Yeah, because if you didn't say it, it didn't happen. Actually, that is something that should be considered by everybody. You're told every word must be accounted for. That means it is to be what you said it is, because your say is a valid say. You're about saying your valid say. I had a half a dozen of Neville's tapes, and I listened to them at least one every night for years before it actually touched base. I began thinking differently. The importance of having a CD, because what has your focus has your life. Think about it. We're not asking you to join anything, but you have to have the CDs. You have to have the DVDs. You have to listen to them. It's you training this. Listen, listen, listen.
But as Mr. Lindell stated, you have to listen to them repeatedly. And again, for those who are interested, click the link below and it will take you to the 4 CD set, and you'll be able to transform not only your mind, but your world.